Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Welcome back. It is another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. As always, we've got Kelly Cook coming at you. How are you doing today, Kelly? In the house. Well, I was going to say in the house, but I'm like, well, we're definitely not in the same spot. So, you know.
That's all right. That's all right. Also bring value from wherever we are. You know, you can bring it from the beach, from Disneyland, from Disney World.
Yeah.
Right.
The power of technology.
Yes.
All right. Exactly. So just to recap a little bit, last episode, we kind of broke down a couple articles and stuff that we've been seeing about how, I mean, obviously we all know, where have all the houses gone? Inventory is crazy low, and buyer demand is crazy high. So you know, there aren't many houses out there for agents to list. We talked also about how there are more agents than houses that are on the MLS in the country right now. And we kind of broke down specifically in Phoenix. You said what, they're like 400,000 agents each. I don't know if that seems high, but
yeah, there's in Phoenix there's about 50,000 now, and then in the whole state there's approaching 90,000, right?
Yeah,
in Arizona, right? Which
is
crazy.
And new people getting their license every day. So just kind of adding into that pool where it's becoming extremely competitive.
Yeah, it's this misnomer that the market's so good right now, or so whatever, you know, I guess
bountiful
good.
And
maybe. Yeah, and so let's get in now. Well, again, we talked about last podcast. We won't go down that road again. But again, I would argue it's just the opposite because it's tough. You know, it's tough to find a house now for your client. So anyways.
Yeah. So today, you know, we kind of talked about how to find a house for your client, or how to, you know, the biggest problem right now, how to get an offer accepted. We talked about that on a couple episodes, a little series. So check that out. But now we want to go on the listing side. How, as an agent, are you, with it being so competitive out there, how are you getting listings? What are some good strategies to actually, you know, find somebody to go on a listing appointment with you, to secure that, and to, you know, get houses to sell? So I think Kelly's going to go into his top 5 strategies. There are multiple out there. You know, pick what works for you in your market. But here are some great strategies that Kelly's got that he wants to share with us.
Yeah, totally. If I had an emoji keyboard right now, I'd drop a big fat gold brick right now, because this is gold, right? Listings are gold. And so if you can get listings, it is the closest thing in this market to a guaranteed paycheck that you can possibly find, right? It is going to sell unless something extremely odd is happening. So without further ado, the top 5 things that we're seeing in our business right now to help get seller listings. Number 1, seller letters or postcards, okay? Now it can be a version of a letter too. It could be a newsletter, right? If you have something going out physically, but we're talking not digital. We're talking good old U.S. postal
physical snail mail, direct mail in the mailboxes.
That's right, and it works. Now it's not always going to work if you just do a one-off potentially, right? There is some consistency over time, but there's no better time to start right now, especially if you're in a market where it's probably going to stay hot right now. Now, it's no secret there are certain cities across the country that are experiencing a bigger growth currently in the micro right now, right? Than other cities, right? Due to, you know, COVID or warm weather or whatever it is, right? Friendly business laws, all these different reasons, right? So Phoenix is obviously one of them. That's a benefactor of, you know, what's going on with COVID and post-COVID, et cetera. So that being said, it's not going to go away anytime soon. We're looking probably at least 2022 before we have any type of return to balance. So that being said, if you never did direct mail before, start today. Pick out a section. We're not going to go into farming right now, but there's a whole strategy around that. Pick out a section of geographical section of your city, or do like a psychographic farm, right? Where you pick out people that are most likely to sell, have these, you know, indicators, if you will, right? And there's a lot of places that aggregate this data and mail to them with the message that you have a buyer to purchase their property. Because the reality is, guys, you probably do. I can tell you right now, we do. For almost every single type of town or suburb in the Phoenix area, we have a buyer for right now, guaranteed. in our database. And most people do too as well. So seller letters. And if you want to go a little cheaper, go postcards. You want to test it, maybe go postcards, because the stamp obviously is somewhere around half the cost, right? Somewhere on there, a little more than that, but in that ballpark. So you can get by with a little cheaper, and the printing's probably a little cheaper too as well. And then look at your bulk orders, right? With your bulk orders, if you go more, it becomes cheaper per piece. All right, that's number one. Number two, seller Google leads. Now we're having a pretty decent response from this right now. We've always done seller Google leads, so it's nothing new for us. But right now, it's becoming even more so better than ever, because people are wanting to know what is their home worth right now, right? So that trap of what's your home worth really is old, nothing new, but it's working. What we're finding is working better than most, because not that we're doubling the amount of inquiries. We are getting more, but we're not like doubling it, right? However, the people that we're able to talk to because of it we're having a little more in-depth quality conversations, because now they're going, wait, hold on, my house is worth what?
Because the prices are have gone up so much that it's a lot more intriguing and enticing.
Exactly. And so then, of course, it follows with the question of, now where do I potentially move to, which is another conversation, another podcast. But anyways, they're starting that quality conversation. So how do you do that? Well, you can run a Google ad platform on your own. You go to Google, you sign up, and if you poke around with it long enough, you'll figure it out. It's not that hard. And then you can run ads towards that kind of message that you would like. Or you can call up a company like the bigger CRMs, right? Sync, Boomtown, Ylopo, all these other CRMs, Chime. They do a great job of doing this for you if you just pay them some money, right? And they'll do it for you, run the ads, and boom, you get leads, okay? So number two, Google seller leads specifically. Now that means you got to have some sort of squeeze page, a landing page where they land to get the value of their house, right? You can't just do it and send them anywhere. I mean, you can, but it's not as effective. All right, number three, yellow Post-it notes, okay? Yellow Post-it notes. So what you do is you can have a company print on them, they're sticky, right? Or you just handwrite it because you're going old school, right? And you don't want to spend extra money. Ideally with a red pen, not a black pen or a blue pen, a red pen. And the message is really simple. So those of you who are out there who just are petrified of door knocking, that's okay, because you don't necessarily have to door knock. You're talking about just going down a street of homes and you're pasting or posting that yellow Post-it note on their front door, and then you're
most
leaving.
people are scared to answer their door these days anyway. So
yeah, exactly. you have some Amazon shirt on, they might answer, but that's about it, right? But anyways, yeah. So the message is very simple. I have a buyer who wants to purchase in this neighborhood. Have you thought of selling? ? And then your phone number. Jim, boom, phone number, whatever. But that's it. Like, that's it. Now, if you wrote that 300 times on a Post-it note, your hand might start to cramp, right? So you have to, maybe get your son, daughter, whatever, somebody, right? Cousin, somebody, or you just have a printer. Trust me, Google it. You'll find somebody who can do it for you and then ship them to you, no problem. Okay. But that's very effective. People are, and you get, now listen, let's be clear. You get people calling back going, why are you putting this crap on my door? Da, 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 da. And that's just like anything else. Hey, sir, I hope you have a better day. Thank you. And see you later, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
People sometimes get very angry about stuff that shows up in the mailboxes or whatever. It's like, just throw it away, whatever.
Exactly. You can also go to Ring Central or Call Fire or something, Happy Grasshopper, some of these places as well. You can get a vanity number and an inbox, and you can record a message, right? That says, hey, this is Jim with Realty Company XYZ, blah, 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 with a message about that specifically, right? We have buyers looking to purchase in your area. If you got my message, please leave a message and we'll call you right back, right? Now, if you do that because maybe you're busy and you can't answer the phone when you're out showing homes or whatever, I don't know, whatever it is, potentially you can thwart and not have to listen to anyone who's crabby, right? And then just call back the good people who leave messages, right? If you get a, hey, screw you, why are you calling me? Just delete and move on, right? So you can do that too as well. And those inboxes aren't that expensive. So that's a strategy you can choose to do. Number four, circle prospecting. Good old circle prospecting. You're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. You can call a company like our man JP over at Phone Animal, and they will do it for you. And it's not that expensive. Yeah, it's not like it's $20 a month. Let's be clear here, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, these people make a lot of phone calls, hundreds and hundreds of phone calls per day for you if you like. And and that's how you find off-market properties. You get that person, you have to call 100 to get one person maybe to even think about it potentially, right? But the reality is you now have somebody and no one else knows they want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
No one else knows. So you're the gold mine. You have the off-market list of people you're starting to create, right? Which is phenomenal. So again, shout out to Phone Animal. They do a great job. There's other places too that do them as well, do circle prospecting for you. You can hire virtual assistants that are overseas as well, or virtual in the States, or you can do it yourself. And a good resource for that is Cole Realty Resource, right? They have data on everybody in America, right? So you go there, you pull your numbers, and bada boom, bada bing, you're fired up and you're on the dialer, or you're just hand dialing. I would recommend a dialer. And we use Mojo.
Yeah.
And then you just bang your numbers, right? And it's a real simple script. It's a real simple script. Hey, this is Kelly with Keller Williams Real Estate, giving you a call, and you don't ask how they're doing ever, right? You don't do that. No, right? Hey, the reason for my call today is we have a buyer that's looking to purchase in your property, and they can't find anything. It's a family, 2 kids, and they're just looking to get in the neighborhood. And if you know of anyone that's looking to possibly sell their property, take advantage of arguably one of the best markets.
All right, we are back. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, but we are going to finish out. We were just talking about that script, so we will dive back into it. Kelly, take it away.
Yeah, so we were in the middle of talking. If you're making that circle prospecting call, which we all highly recommend you should right now, you find a lot of off-market deals that way for sure. Sellers who want to sell, but we were saying, if they don't have, or excuse me, if they don't know, if they want to sell, then the question becomes, do they know of anyone else who may want to sell? And you'd be surprised, guys. Obviously, the vast majority, you got to expect the vast majority of people to say no, right? But again, all you need is, 1 out of 30, 1 out of 50 or so. So yes, it may take 30 to 50 phone conversations to get that one, but that's what we're averaging right now. It's what we're seeing on our end. Okay. Now, moving along to the 5th thing. All right, here, Elizabeth, 5th thing here that we are doing right now to get seller listings: relationships with wholesalers. Okay, so most of you probably know what wholesalers are, but if you don't, quick overview. These are people who their full-time job, as yours is to represent buyers and sellers, their full-time job is to find properties off market or on market, believe it or not, wrap them up for what they find or feel is under market value, and then sell the paper, assign the contract once they have an agreement from the seller to sell to them, assign that contract to another end buyer who will purchase the property with their money and close escrow. So hopefully you were following along with that. We can do a whole podcast on just wholesalers, right?
Yeah,
but the reality is, yeah, we probably should, yeah, because it's a very, very, very important part of the real estate industry, especially now. But their whole concept is to obviously elevate the price, make a few bucks in between, and in turn, you get a property that potentially is off the market, or it's on market, but it's under contract. It's just at a good value that still has some meat on the bone, right? So how do you get a hold of wholesalers? Very easy. There's this website called Google.
Never heard of it.
You go in there and you type in, real estate wholesalers, in my area, real estate wholesalers in your city, whatever, right? Do a couple searches, you'll find them. Trust me, they want to rank high. They do rank high. Their websites. You go on their websites, and I would do a lot of them, at least 5, and go on there and sign up to be on their email list. Now, the downside is their email list could be quite extensive, right? So you could be talking, you could be, on a list with 10,000 other people, right? Which means if the property is any good at all, it's going to go in the matter of typically hours from the time that email goes out. However, what I would do then is call the wholesaler, try to get hold of the person who's the principal, or if you can, of that organization, and try to make friends with them. Ask them, they're probably busy, but hey, can I buy you coffee? Can I just chat with you? Here's my background. Here's what I'm looking for. A lot of times, if you do that, the first time may not mean anything, or even the second time. But if you keep talking to them, not bugging them, but talking to them about, man, that one house on Main Street, I just missed out on that one. Thanks for sending it over. Someone else got it. If you have something else like that, let me know via email, right? Boom, boom, boom. And they also start remembering your name, because guys, most people don't take the extra step to be proactive. Okay, they don't. So I would highly recommend that. And before you know it, you'll get that off-market property locked up, and you can obviously get a property to fix and flip yourself, to hotel, which is another concept to do, right? or bring it to market, right? Fix it up, hotel it, but bring it to market as a listing, and you just created inventory for your team, for yourself, for the neighborhood. And we all know when you have a listing in a hot market like this, it will drive leads, right? So think about this. You buy a property that may be on the outskirts of, I don't know, it may not be that great of a deal, but you do it. You maybe fix it up just a little bit or not much at all, but you go to market with it, of course, elevating the price. Think of all the benefits that will come from that listing, right? Now, obviously, when you purchase on the acquisition side a wholesale property, you're going to have to move quickly, right? You're going to have cash. If you don't have cash, you can do hard money or private money. So again, I think this is due for the podcast to be on wholesaling pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. My mind is being boggled right now. This is like a whole new concept to me. So yes, absolutely.
But point is, get on the list and evaluate those properties as they come over and look to potentially take them down and or send them over to your clients that you know are looking for a property in that area, right?
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Because you talked about buying it yourself, but like, is this something that you could just, 100%. Your active buyers that you have, I'm sure tons of, who are struggling finding homes. This is a good option for them as well.
And we do that. And again, the wholesalers typically don't have a commission being paid involved. So you have to either, be upfront with your client and elevate the price a little bit to cover a commission, or your clients can just pay you directly, right? And just go with the wholesaler's price. So that's something, but again, you have to educate them that if you see a property from a wholesaler, because I say in the subject line, wholesale property, you have to be prepared to move quick. If you're not, then we'll just skip that route altogether, right? But you'd be surprised. There are some people who are motivated, who are regular buyers, buyers, and they'll be happy to get on it if they understand the concept.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, like I said, right now, I mean, you're getting desperate to where you're like, I just need to find a house. Like, they're ready to move quick. So that can totally work in these situations.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
That's the top 5 right there.
I was like, is that 5? We hit 5? There we go. That is how you can, get some listings in this market right now. We've talked about how listings are down. I know you're tired of hearing it, but we all know it. And then last week, we also talked about how not only are listings down, but real estate agents are kind of at an all-time high. There's more agents in the country than there are listings. So, to be successful right now, you need to be getting those listings. And Kelly just shared 5 great ways to do that. And I think we have an episode on wholesalers coming up pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. And Kelly, if they have any questions about this stuff, have any suggestions for any other podcasts, where can they reach you?
Yeah, that'd be great. We'd love to. A lot of these topics that we come to the podcast with are from people who are requesting to hear some more information on them. So thank you for that. You can always email me at kelly@kellycookhomes.com or call or text at 480-227-2028, or they can go online and they can get a awesome document that tells you step by step how to scale a real estate team or your real estate business appropriately, aka learn from my mistakes and do it the right way, right? And that's
don't make Kelly's mistakes. Just learn from them. Skip over that step.
A lot of time, yeah, exactly. But buildyourrealestateteam.com, buildyourrealestateteam.com, and you get that document there.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next week. Press that subscribe button, ring the bell, whatever those buttons are, do it, except for the thumbs down. We don't like that. Yeah, but thumbs up, everything else. And we will see you guys next week with some great real estate topics.
See you guys.
Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.